welcome. My name is Peace Mitchell, and I'm co-founder of Osmompreneur, the Women's Business School, and Women Changing the World Press. It's my great pleasure today to launch our brand new book, Sacred Promise, led by Dr. Tererai Trent. And today you'll also be hearing from some of the wonderful and inspirational authors of this incredible anthology. But to begin, I would love to introduce Dr. Tererai Trent. She's Oprah Winfrey's all-time favorite guest. She's a humanitarian and a very incredible and inspiring woman. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Tererai Trent.
Oh, thank you, Peace, for having me. Oh, thank you. It's just wonderful to be here.
Oh, it's so exciting, Tererai. We're launching this beautiful book and we're hearing from some of these authors, and I'm so proud of this book and the stories that it contains. They really are powerful stories.
Indeed, they are. And the women, they did an amazing job. Each chapter, as you read it, you feel like you are reading a movie story. But these are their realities. These are true stories. And we can all learn from these stories.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Real life stories about women who made a sacred promise to themselves, and then the impact that one promise and keeping that one promise has had on their lives and the lives of others around them. It's really incredible.
Isn't it amazing that we are all grounded by this one promise? You know, I always remember mine because I had gone through such traumatic events in my life. And my mother would say to me, if you achieve your dreams in this life, not only are you defining yourself, you're also defining every generation. So I knew I had to keep a promise to myself, never to pass on those soul wounding that I was carrying to this generation, for me to be able to work with this next generation.
Yeah, and it's incredible, Tererai, your story. It's so amazing, and the change that you made for yourself and your own life, and then the lives of your children, but also the lives of your whole community. And you've created the Tererai Trent International Foundation, where you've now educated over 38,000 children, and you've built schools in rural Zimbabwe. And now we're fundraising for being able to send the next generation of students through to college and university. So really creating cultural and generational change for those girls who will then have a brighter future. It's incredible.
It is, and to see those changes. But you know, I always say that even when we make our own sacred promises, we stand on the shoulders of others. So I cannot take all the credit. I had others. And that's the beauty of this book, that we are talking about the sacred promises that we have made for ourselves, but we are also recognizing those who supported us to be where we are today.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Alone we can do so little. Together we can achieve so much, and it's just beautiful seeing what these women have achieved, and then seeing what we collectively have achieved in producing this really beautiful book. So I'm so excited to hear from these authors today, Tererai. So I will now hand over to you, and let's hear from each of these authors.
Yeah. So our next author is Jen. And Jen, I would love to welcome you to the platform.
Hi, Tererai.
Hi, Jen. How are you? So, Jen, you know, I read your chapter. It's very interesting. You are very poetic in the way you write. But before I go deep into your chapter, would you mind to introduce yourself?
All right. I would love to introduce myself. My name is Jen Hagen, and I am a poet and an athlete and a mother. Both my children were diagnosed on the autism spectrum very young, and that was over 25 years ago. And along the way parenting, I was always
Mm,
trying to be the best advocate for them. And
yeah.
in doing so, I started several different platforms to talk
Mm,
about our life and introduce our adventures and try
yeah.
new things. And that's pretty much what
Mm.
people call me Zen Jen, because I'm constantly like starting
You
over. You know, the Zen, that's like a nickname that came about several years ago, and it stuck.
and you are. And let me also say happy birthday to you. Isn't it amazing
Thank
that we are launching this book and it's also your birthday? Oh my goodness,
you.
my goodness. Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
I
Jen.
was. Thank you. I was
Yeah.
being birthed at this moment, and this
Yeah.
book, I'll tell you, it's like birthing itself. It's when you're retelling a story that's so visceral.
Mm,
There's a lot of emotion coming through you. Like,
yes, yes. And it was meant to be. So tell me, what is your sacred promise and why this sacred promise?
hmm, well, my sacred promise is to never let a label box my children or myself.
Mm,
Um, there's a lot of emotions that come when you get the diagnosis for your children, and mine came at the same time. Pretty much, we got
mm,
my daughter's diagnosis and realized that my son, who's only 14 months younger, was,
oh,
was we thought he was just quirky, and it turns out we didn't. There was no internet, Facebook, nothing. I couldn't really
mm,
access all of these avenues to find out more. I'm very much a why
mm,
person,
mm.
and I suppose my sacred promise is to never let their lives be limited
Yeah.
by a diagnosis,
Mm,
and to try and give them the very best life experience in this
yeah.
lifetime they came here for, that I came here for. And there's been quite a bit of resistance along the way,
Yeah.
because I always wanted inclusion and friends,
Mm,
and I wanted to experience things that, I mean, my plan before I had children was to travel every summer and live in a different country so that I would embed my children in different cultures and learn languages. And
mm,
when my kids were very difficult to travel with. They threw tantrums constantly. They'd have double tantrums. Both were nonverbal at the same time. It was quite an intense experience, and I chose to be a single mom early. I
mm.
didn't want to parent together with the person I was with, but we still parented, but just not in the same house, But sometimes that was very like they
Yeah.
were the same. They were only a year and a half apart, so one would run one way and the other would run the
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I just when I was young, I was the youngest of six and
Mm-hmm.
four older brothers, and they thought I was their toy. And I was in love with adrenaline.
Oh, uh, well, it looks like Jen has frozen.
I'm
Well,
back.
she'll come back. She'll come back. You froze a little bit, Jane,
I'm
but
so sorry.
no, that's okay. That's okay.
Um,
Um,
so I was talking about adrenaline, and I was just in love with adrenaline and going fast. And my brothers did all of these. They raced motorcycles, dirt bikes, and
mhm.
I wanted a dirt bike, and I was told because I was a girl, I couldn't have one.
Oh,
And that's the first time I experienced like, what? And I wish for it on every birthday cake,
uh,
on a dirt because I could ride, and so I think that was the first experience of going, wait a minute, if I'm good at something,
mhm.
why can't And
Yeah,
I think a lot of times my children and we just wanted to go camping, and so our
yeah.
first time when my kids were 4 and 5, I wanted to just take a trip
Mhm.
and have no plans and have a tent and do what I could. But my son ran away. he would swim away in the ocean. My daughter would have panic attacks and hide and not come out and not talk. And so I brought a friend with me, and we left for the Oregon coast, and we did this hippie trip, I call it. And that was our first time. We went to the beach, and it was such a beautiful experience. It was like 3 days. We had to sleep in the car at one point.
Wow. What an adventure.
It
What
was
an adventure.
so beautiful. And I realized that I just want to do things just like everyone else. Everyone else in the family wants to go camping. It just takes a lot more planning and a lot more tries to do for my family. And so we just kept trying new things as life kept unfolding. And, you know, we mountain biked, we've hiked every peak in the Pacific Northwest. We've surfed, skateboarded, just everything. And so I suppose I just wanted to be a regular parent and have kids have a regular life. They're extraordinary, and we have an extraordinary life. And I like to hear the word yes. And so I decided to say it to my kids more.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you are refusing to be a victim, and you're also refusing for your kids to be a victim, defying everything in your pathway to say, this is the path that I want for myself. So why was it important for you to join this anthology, to be part of this group of women writing their stories? Why was it important for you?
First of all, because it's led by you.
Oh.
And I first watched you speaking to Marie Forleo on her show, and I fell in love with you. I was in awe of everything you said, and I was like, and a long time ago I heard about Ubuntu because I study change makers. That's my lifetime. Anyone in the world, and Maya Angelou was one of my most favorite mentors, I believe, in life. And I just grab a hold of anyone who has like these beautiful dreams. And for me to be in a group that you've led and knowing how much you empower women, how much it's through too, it really is.
Thank you.
Because we're going through so much right now. And to read your book, The Awakened Woman, and to hear all of the things you made it past, I was like, okay, it may look pretty dark now, but I can do this. And you asked me what broke my heart, and I think that more women need to be a part of things like this, to tell their heartbreaking stories. We're so afraid to inconvenience the world by telling our emotions, but these emotions are the way to the solutions.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Oh.
I'm a solution scientist, and I believe that every time I feel these things from I call my kids my gurus, and my website was Autism is the Adventure, Feeling Groovy is the Goal, Guru V. And the acronym was Great Understanding Requires Urgency, Vision, and People. And and you know, the urgency is the system really doesn't have a lot of urgency. Vision, I've got tons of that, and women have tons of that because we've been through so much. And we also are so good at, you know, women have a way of caring that is essential to progress in this world. And my kids are my gurus, and they need to teach. Every single human is a guru. We all have something to teach. And I felt like my kids were isolated a lot in settings, and I felt like, how are we going to learn if we don't see kids like mine?
And you know, Jen, I have followed you for years, and I have followed your social media posts. You're such a powerful teacher. So, you know, reading your chapter, and I'm just thinking, what is this one lesson that you want to leave your audience with? because you're such a great teacher. Despite all these challenges, you are defying every moment and creating a better platform for yourself and for your children and for the community at large. So, what is this one lesson? You are now my guru.
Thank you. You're my, that makes me feel groovy, Tara. But the one lesson that I would say is to say yes to your
mm,
adventure of life and try and do the best to say yes. And, try and not let your mind tell you that you have to do things according to the way the world wants you to do things, because that will never work. This is your life. It's
yeah.
your adventure. And staying present and in the moment and keep starting over.
Mm,
Every day in my life, we feel life-threatening things, whether it be my son having, running away on a mountain,
mm, mm,
in alpine lakes, or anything. It's just saying yes. It's a
yeah.
relief. Have you ever had someone say yes to you? It's just a relief, and everyone celebrates. Yes, it's
Yeah.
a wonderful thing, and it relieves all of the pressure so that somebody can feel joined, like they feel like somebody's sitting
Mm,
with them, rather, and so do that to yourself too. Say yes to yourself,
yeah.
because sometimes we have intuition and we sit there and ponder it for so long. And yes, if we hear ourselves, okay, well, I'll just try it. I'll try it this one time. I'll go this direction, and we don't have to say yes on forever. And Maya
Yeah.
Angelou, one person who I read, that she said, you have the right to make a decision to go one way or the other, to change your mind
Yes.
at any given time. And I thought that was revolutionary, because I was
Mm.
giving myself permission to say yes to my own intuition.
I love that. I love the yes part because in my culture we have this dance, we call it the Chinyamsasure dance, where you dance and you are listening to your body, you are listening to the body knowing, you are listening to where it is now saying yes. And so in our interactions, sometimes you are being asked for something, listen to your body. Is it saying yes or is it saying no? No is also a powerful yes to your body knowing. So thank you, Jen, for that. Thank you.
And you have to know your body, and that's part of, like, the adventure. Is Dragonfly Landing is all about adventure sports and
Mm,
going bike riding and trail riding, being outside and moving your body and dancing and yoga, everything. And so in order to hear your body, you must get to know it and change,
yeah,
move it, and listen. And I love
yeah.
dance. I'm a dancer.
Oh, me, me too. Well, Jen, I think I can spend the whole morning here talking to you. I love listening to you. So we are coming to the end of our interview, and thank you so much for this discussion. So many nuggets of wisdom. Now we move to our next author, and our next author, she's zooming from Ireland, Karen. Karen is an amazing woman. I will let Karen introduce herself because not only is she an author, but she's also a publisher. Karen, welcome to the platform.
Hello, Tererai, and thank you so much for having me. It's
Oh,
launch day.
I
Yay.
know, I know. Oh, and thank you very much. Thank you very much for housing us, for giving us this platform, for giving our voices a place where we can express our own stories. I really appreciate that. I really do. So,
Oh,
Karen, before I could go in and talk about your chapter, about who you are, would you mind to introduce yourself to the world?
absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Karen McDermott. I'm currently in Ireland, but I live in Perth, Western Australia. That is where I found my passion for writing and story. And through that discovery, my studies are in humanities, but I fell into publishing. It ended up becoming a soul's purpose to have stories out into the world. So this is a perfect project. I own three publishing companies: Serenity Press, KMD Books, and MMH Press. And I'm an author of over 40 books, and I'm also a proud mum of 6. And I have a beautiful blend in my life, and I feel very honored to live it.
Wow. And tell me, why Sacred Promise? What is it about Sacred Promise?
Well, Sacred Promise, I'm all about story, Tererai, and whenever I think of the stories that, we need more women sharing their stories of triumph, because we go through so many challenges in life. That is life. We're going to endure challenges, no matter where we are in the world, no matter what our circumstance. And quite often the most privileged go through bigger psychological challenges than that, I have witnessed. And I've been through my own dark period, and I have made many sacred promises to myself in my lifetime. But the one I speak about in the book is when I really made a sacred promise to a real heart's purpose, and really a calling to life to show up. And it's become my mission. My studies, as I said, were in humanities. Little did I know that I would ever become a publisher. But it's a platform for stories to reach people who need to read them. And that is why I'm so passionate about getting them out into the world. Because when women show up and share their stories, magic happens. Because when we reach the hearts and minds of someone who needs to read it, it ignites something within them. It educates. It connects. Stories are very powerful, and I know that you know that, Tara, more than anyone.
Oh, thank you. But when women share these stories, we
Yeah.
we also heal one another, because when we don't tell our stories, I always say, then we are allowing others to tell our stories, and they won't tell the narrative that we want. And so I really want to appreciate you for creating this platform for us. So why was it important for you to join this anthology?
Well, I felt the power of it. Remember whenever the spark, the idea came to fruition, and I love watching the process of the seed,
Yeah.
the seedling of an idea, and then it's starting to germinate and flourish, and the pull was so, as it was for many people, because there was
Yeah.
a lot of people who applied to be part of this anthology. So it's a huge honor to share my story in it, but I'm sure many more stories will come.
Yeah.
But yet, a sacred promise is, it just, my heart just lit up whenever I knew the title, and
Oh.
obviously to work alongside you, because you are the sharer of stories. You help people
Oh.
heal through that, and I also know the power of what it's like when you write your story down. Honoring that process, it is a very hard yet therapeutic thing to do, because when I wrote my first novel 12 years ago, I wrote about a time in my life when I had endured, a heartache. But when I wrote it out,
Yeah.
I healed a little. I seen it differently. I
Mm,
had more clarity, and I used to work in mental health, Terry. And one of the final stages of healing is the call to tell your story, and so to
yeah.
be part of that and to share my story with others, so that they might be inspired. Because I like to share my story about how my perspective on challenges. We
Mm,
all will endure challenges in our life, but they're not roadblocks. Challenges are an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, and to rise into the person that we need to be, to rise above it all, and to claim our lives and to claim what's there for us. Because there's so much for us to embrace, and our highest purpose works only for us. And when we connect with that, that's when the magic of life happens.
so beautiful, so beautiful. I love that you are such a successful woman. having your own publishing company, writing books, and I've watched your activities on social media. And I know there are many who are listening now. Is there a key lesson that you can leave to your audience?
Absolutely. I have many key lessons, but one of the key things just came to me there while you were speaking is know what your definition of success is. It's not in a dictionary. It's knowing
Yes.
what is right for you. My definition of success is I'm very ambitious. I love to see where I can go with things. I like to lead that way and share. I don't keep things to myself. Share how you do things with others so that they can. We're here to do that, to learn and to share. But also, as a mom of six and a hands-on mom of six, I love being a mother. That is
Oh,
one of the biggest gifts that I've been gifted in life. But I also am ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I have
no.
this beautiful blend in my life, and I wish that
Mm,
more women would allow themselves and give themselves permission to have that
mm.
beautiful blend. We don't need to sacrifice all of ourselves for motherhood. That is just such a tragedy in my eyes, because we can be great mothers and still achieve our dreams. In fact, we're going to show our children how to achieve their dreams while still honouring, what the family and everything. And that's why it's just so important that message, I
Oh,
feel, gets out there.
so well said. So well said. I love that. I love that. And I love the fact that you just say, I am ambitious, because you don't hear this from women. Women, they think being ambitious sounds more like, I don't know, it doesn't sound feminine, but I love it when a woman says, this is what I want. I am ambitious and I'm going to get what I want in life. Defining your success. And that's just beautiful. Thank you, Karen. I
My
can listen to
absolute
you all
pleasure.
day.
We
Thank you.
could. Thank you so much, Tererai, for having me.
Oh,
Get the
thank
book,
you.
everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. The book is just an incredible read, and we are launching this book as we speak. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
So,
Tara.
thank you. So, our next author, wow, wow, her chapter is also grounding, and I would love to welcome Terry. Hey Terry, how are you this morning? Or it's evening where you
It's
are. I am
rather
in.
late. I'm great.
Oh,
I'm
awesome.
great. It's okay. It's okay. It's for a
Well,
good cause, and I'm ready for up for the challenge.
oh, good, good. So before we talk about your chapter, would you mind to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes, I am Terry Weems, and I'm from the state of Indiana in the United States. And I have no children. However, I have a wonderful husband for 36 years, and we've been trying to figure out what am I going to do since I've retired for the third time. But I did start my story and start writing a book because I've always been in search of a sisterhood circle or a
Mm,
circle of friends. And so I started writing my book, my personal book. And I've known you since first time I heard you in 2012 in Puerto Rico. And I truly believe that women should support women, but it's hard to find women that will support women. And so that has always been an issue for me.
mm, mm,
Mhm.
mm. So what's your sacred and why sacred promise?
Okay. My sacred promise has been to me is not to be hurt by other people because of how they think I am and don't really know me, and never get a chance to know me before they start to hurt, and with verbal or in deed. And not only women, men also. So it's like I've always guarded my heart. I've always guarded my heart. And so in my book, I am a confident and courageous. I have a courageous spirit. I just keep moving and keep going. And my age, like I said, I've retired for the third time. And
Mm,
so I go through life trying to find out, have I done everything I possibly can for everyone? Have I not abused anyone? Okay, so my book causes me to reflect on that. Because what
mm,
happened, yeah, I was like in a situation when I was writing the book. And of course, most books sometimes there's something traumatic, but who's to say it's traumatic
mm,
to another person? But people are telling me people need to hear what you have to say because somebody's going through that of trying to find. I am the only girl, family of three. I have two brothers. And so I get along well with the guys in my life, but it's the women that I struggle with. I had to learn how to be a sister. And through my writing, this is what I found. And so a
mhm,
portion of that is in my book about becoming a sister friend.
mm, mm. And you write it so powerfully in your chapter, being a sister friend. I love that because when we support one another, we can achieve our dreams more. And as sisters, we need to be true to that word, sister. So you are the epitome of sisterhood, and I love that. And so, why was it important for you to join this anthology, to be part of these 36 women writing Sacred Promise?
Well, I was in the middle of writing my book, and I know you and I had a conversation, and I was trying to decide if it was going to be worthy. And then the invitation came up to join the anthology, and I hesitated. I hesitated because I thought my story is not that traumatic. But by whose standards? I had to ask myself, is it not traumatic? It was traumatic for me, and it ended up allowing me to heal, to cleanse, and find out, reflect on things that other people have done, what I have done. It revealed some things that I didn't realize about myself in my writing. And also, I ended up having to reconcile. I had to reconcile
Mm,
with some people that um, I would just say, okay, we're not a match. Goodbye, kind of thing.
mm,
So it caused me to reconcile with those
mm,
people. And I'm in the process of reconciling at this point. I've done two of my sisters. And so I'm just going back and reflecting, who have I done an injustice to? Because I did not listen, did not understand what they were going through and what I was going through.
mm,
And that it's
mm.
okay for us not to be on the
Mm,
same page.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
understanding that's important.
that's that's powerful. That's powerful because as sisters or as individuals, rather, I always say when we come home to ourselves, we find forgiveness and we also find a place in ourselves where we reflect deeply on who we need to forgive. Do we also need to forgive ourselves as well? So that's really powerful. So, of all the key lessons that you provide in your chapter, is there one that is grounding, one that you feel you need to share with the readers out there?
Yes, it is. It is hard to see new beginnings when the focus is on the past.
Ah, can you say more to that? Can you
More to that
say more to
means,
that?
okay, if we dwell on our past, we can't move forward.
Mm,
And it's
mm,
always sometimes it's a woe is me kind of thing. And
mm,
we linger there and we don't try to move past it and try to
mm,
learn and try to be confident that and acceptable that
mm,
yes, you have to be vulnerable in
mhm,
order to move forward. You can't stay in one spot. If you do, you don't grow. And I'm all about growing. Um, I told you I retired for the third time. I am 72, soon to be 73. And I just keep going. I just keep
Mm.
growing. I just, I get my energy from new things. And I don't dwell on what has happened in my past.
Yeah. And I mean that's really powerful for you to say that, because many people, they want to dwell in the past because that's the story that brings sympathy, and it's a story that is comfortable to stay in. But you're saying no, you need, okay, to recognize that vulnerability part, but you have also to move forward. I just love that. And one of my signature poems in my speaking is, I am not a victim, I am part of the solution. And that's powerful. Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there
Thank
anything
you.
that you want to add to your to this discussion?
Yeah, well, my favorite is I'm not a victim, I am a victor.
That's wonderful. Oh. Well, I can listen to you the whole day. I know it's late there, but thank you very much for giving us this time to be with you. And today we are launching Sacred Promise. Can you believe that?
Oh, I know. I've been tuning in to LinkedIn all evening. It's like, come on, you guys. So we're doing a great job. We're getting it out
Yeah.
there, and I want to thank you for the opportunity. I want to thank you for all my newfound sisters. A friend of
Yes.
mine has often said, I kept saying, "What's going on? I can't find anybody." She says, "Well, you just have to change your circle, change your friends,
Mm,
and just get out
mm,
there and see what's out there." And so, Sacred Promise
mm.
is allowing me to do that. I have established a lot of sister friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And Sacred Promise will also allow you to expand your circles. So
Yes.
sometimes we don't need to change our friends, but sometimes we just need to expand. So we bring in new thinking, new way of looking at things. And that's just beautiful.
Okay.
Oh,
Great.
thank
Great.
you. Thank
Thank
you. Thank you.
you.
Well, now we are coming to the end of our discussions. Oh, what a powerful, powerful group of women who have put together Sacred Promise. And I'm just so honored to be part of this collaboration.
Oh,
Please.
it's just been beautiful, Tererai. And the authors we've heard from today, Jen and her approach to parenting and that
Mm,
the freedom of saying yes and making things work the way that she wants them to work for her family. I love that.
yeah,
And then we had
yeah,
Karen talking about, the magic of believing in yourself and following your dreams. It was just
yeah,
beautiful. And then, of course, Terry now talking about sisterhood and how powerful sisterhood can be when you
yeah.
surround yourself with women who understand you and who hold space for you. And I feel like this book has been such a journey of sisterhood from the very beginning. We called in our sisters from around the world, and these women are truly
Mm,
from everywhere around the world. And we've held space for each other. We've laughed together. We've cried together. We've written our stories together. We've shared so much love and wisdom and experience.
yeah.
And now here we are, and we're ready to present this beautiful gift to the world. And it is such a beautiful book.
Oh,
I'm
my
printing
goodness.
a copy right here, and it's just really beautiful. There's photos of the authors all through it and their
Yes.
stories, and yeah, it's incredible. And our beautiful foreword by Elizabeth Gilbert as well is in there.
Isn't it amazing just to have that forward from Elizabeth Gilbert?
Yeah, so special. And of course, the royalties from the sale of this book, all of the proceeds through Amazon and through bookstores all over the world, go to the Tererai Trent International
Mm.
Foundation, which I am very honoured to be chairperson for. And you, of course, are the president and founder. And it's incredible. This book is now literally going to be changing girls' lives, changing their future, and changing the story for future generations of their families. So it's pretty powerful. When people buy this book, they receive all that wisdom, and they're hearing all of these women's stories, and these women's stories are being amplified, and this message being told. But as well as that, the proceeds from the sale of this book go on to change lives for girls in rural Zimbabwe. So it's really inspiring.
Wow, we are so honored at Tererai Trent International. Truly, truly honored. And the girls who are going to benefit from the proceeds of this book are just, these girls, they come from poor rural areas, and I always say they are grandmothers, they are mothers. They are running with this baton of poverty, never had a chance to go to school. And here comes these 36 authors all saying, we are going to contribute to this book. We are going to write this book, but the proceeds from the book is also going to go towards education, changing generations, and making sure that girls also, they have an opportunity for an education. Investing in education is powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So please, if you've been watching today, make sure you order a copy of Sacred Promise for yourself, but also buy it for friends, buy it for your sister, buy it for the other women in your life, because it is truly a beautiful book, and it is one that is going to change lives. And we're so proud of it and so excited to see this book going out into the world.
Oh, thank you. I am so honored to have you, Peace. I mean, goodness, Lord, you have no idea what you have done to help not only me, but to help our foundation, to help the girls that we educate, and also to help women at large. You are such a global phenomenon, and I want to appreciate the work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Tererai, and I'm honoured to work with you, and I'm honoured to partner with all of these authors as well to produce this beautiful book, and Karen, our publisher, and Katie, my co-founder as well, and everyone who's put their heart and soul into bringing this book together. It's just beautiful. So, yay, so exciting. Our book is officially launched now. You can order copies. I'll put the links in the chat below.
Yeah.
And please help us spread the word about Sacred Promise, a new book.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for tuning in to watch today, and everybody who's watching on the recording. And thank you, Tererai, for being here and leading this beautiful project.
Oh, thank you. Without you, I stand on your shoulder, my sister. I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Tererai.
Yeah.
All right, we will finish up now, and we will see you all again very soon. Bye, everyone.